Hey there, this is Noga Hallman, creator of UpsideDown Parenting, where your parenting challenges meet personal growth. And today is a Q&A episode because we have a question from Belle. Dear Noga, your blog is really helping me. Thanks so much. You're welcome. My parenting struggle is a happy one, but still a struggle. I struggle to let the kids, ages 12 and 14, fall and do more on their own. I am letting go even more than ever before. For example, today I took more time for myself at the gym. It was hard, but it was being better to myself. I also need to devote a lot of time to a new class I joined earlier this year, and I sometimes cut this too short because one or both kids say they need me. Often this is not the case. They just want me to sit next to them while they do something. What are your thoughts on this? Thanks. Hugs, Belle. Belle, what an important topic that all of us struggle with in one way or another. We all have questions like, what does it mean that the older kids need us? Are we abandoning them when we leave home for a couple of hours to do our own thing? And how available and accessible should we make ourselves when we're away? Belle, when I read your question for the first time, many answers and aspects came to mind all around the topic of letting go of our kids. But then it hit me that the real issue here is not you or the kids or the art of knowing when and how to let go of our children. The real issue here is the modern-day mother's difficulty to let go of her smartphone. I find that sometimes the problem is not that my children really can't continue with their day if I'm not available. It's when they assume that I'm available that they keep trying to call me until I answer. If they knew in advance that I don't have the device with me, they wouldn't bother calling me and they would merrily go about their activities. So I hope to inspire you today to take vintage breaks every once in a while, a la the 1980s. Why 1980s? Well, besides the fact that it's the decade that has shaped the woman I've become, it's also when technology had become advanced enough to make life more comfortable and exciting than ever before. Cordless phones, transitioning from black and white to color TV, home computers, obviously there were also pay phones, and yet what was considered normal everyday life for a mother in the 1980s can be considered a refreshing break for the mother in the 21st century. Here's the point. Leave your smartphone behind when you can, specifically, Belle, when you go to your academic lessons. Tell your spouse and the children that you will not have your cell phone with you for the next hour or so, and that if there's anything they need from you, they should tell you right now before you leave. A word of caution, the first time you do this, your mind may go crazy with what-if questions, like it did for me for the first time. What if my husband calls me and I'm not available and he gets upset? What if they call me from school or kindergarten? What if... Now in the 1980s, all these concerns didn't even occur to anyone, right? If you were home to get the call, you were. And if you weren't, the answer machine would take the message or the caller would try to get a hold of you later on. Now a side benefit of taking a vintage break is that you can't call your children either, so they get a necessary break from you as well. And think about it in terms of our growing as parents. We learn to let our kids have their experiences without hovering over them with our cell phones. When you know where they went and you don't call them, you respect their autonomy and give them space, trusting that if anything comes up, they would contact you. Yes, by occasionally ignoring our smartphones, we make a statement to ourselves that we are independent of external devices for our peace of mind, and to our children that they are trustworthy, creative, and self-reliant. Last but not least, this simple exercise that was real life for most families before the 1990s prepares you for the future hands-off parenting years when our children's whereabouts cease to be our business altogether, and sharing their life with us is a totally voluntary act. If the idea of a vintage break resonates with you, plan one for this week. Decide where, when, and what you're going to take with you and what you're going to intentionally leave behind. Feel free to share with me by writing me directly at noga@upsidedownparenting.com. Send the link to this video to a friend and subscribe to our outside-the-box fantastic parenting content at UpsideDownParenting.com. It's fabulous and free. Until next time, get curious about the parenting challenges that come your way because they are your custom-made opportunities to check in with your deepest parenting values and become the best possible you.